Alright, everyone, Justin Fever here. I've decided to do a tier list for Attack on Titan characters. It's the norm thing we're seeing these days from any fictional series, from games to historical figures, but yeah, I'm interested in doing a list here, so let's just start it out. Okay, I think I'm just going to go as the characters come here. So right up here is Annie Leonhardt. Annie Leonhardt, I'll give her a 7 out of 10. Very menacing and very scary as the female Titan, the first protagonist of Season 1. As for her growth, she kind of stays the same, but the revelations come out about the truth about her and her father. And I think she's a very solid character and probably one of the top 5 or 6 characters or female characters in Attack on Titan. Armin Arlette. I'm gonna give Armin Arlette I'm gonna give him a 10 out of 10. And just to let people know, I'm going to be doing a list here pre 139, so chapters 1 all the way to 138. I'll probably do a 130 chapters 1 through 139 next. Just let me know in the comment section what you think about that, if I should even do that. But that's how I'm going to be judging these characters from the series, is up to chapter 138. Okay. Next, I don't even know who this guy is, so I'll throw him in the back. We got Bertolt Hoover. Bert is interesting because he's very introverted and very passive with his personality throughout the series, but the Return to Shiganshina arc, he really steps it up and he starts becoming a lot more interesting, and he becomes more determined than ever to return home, and just his inner monologue about not knowing what is right or what's wrong. No one's on the bad side, no one's on a good side. That's just how cruel the world is. Some really good stuff from Bertolt. Unfortunately, he meets his demise to Armin. I'm going to put him right next to Annie. The two potential lovebirds that never were, Annie and Bertolt. So, 7 out of 10 characters, both of those two. Carla Yeager. I'm going to put her 6 out of 10. Very instrumental to Eren as a character for his quest for revenge. Probably would have been more of an Armin type, but the threat of the Titans and seeing his Titan, a Titan eat his mother, really molded him into the exterminator mode, Terminator mode that he eventually turns into from better to worse. So, Carla Yeager goes 6 out of 10. Okay. Don't even know her name, but I do know she works for Kenny Ackerman. I'm going to give her a 4 out of 10. Don't have much to say about her. She had dreams and, served the military police. You have to shoot me on that one because I really can't remember. Okay, Colt. It's Grice, right? Grice is the last name for Colt and Falco, right? I could be wrong there. You can correct me, but you'll have to forgive me for that. But Colt, I like Colt. He's supposed to be the successor for Zeke to become the next Beast Titan. I love his brotherly love for Falco. Just very touching how much he cares about his brother, which leads us to his ultimate demise and everything. I'll put him at 6 out of 10. Connie Springer. Not a big fan of Connie. I think one of the weakest characters that has a major role throughout the series. I'm going to put him probably top 4 out of 10 character on this list, so I'll make sure he goes there. Connie Springer really felt like I didn't really like his arc concerning his mother, pre-Rumbling arc or pre-Jaegerist arc there, where they fight him. Would have been a perfect candidate for Floch to take out as a character, but along the way, Izuyama just started hating. He started not killing off characters and main characters, and so that's where I'm going to put Connie Springer. Darius Zackley, the Supreme Commander of the Parody Military. Don't really care too much about him. I'm going to put him probably 2 out of 10. Has a fetish for torturing devices, and kind of goes out with a bang, literally. Probably one of the coolest explosion kamikaze deaths, so I'll put him there, 2 out of 10. Okay, let me see if I can find Dina Fritz here, outside of her smiling Titan form. I'm looking really quick here, because I would hate to judge by Titans here. So I'm going to just put the smiley Titan behind here. Hopefully we run into her later. Okay, we got Pixis. Pixis, I'm going to put him 6 out of 10. Very strong in the Struggle for Trost arc. Liked him as a commander. Very cool-headed in a situation that was incredibly daunting and incredibly scary. But held it together and helped motivate Aaron and the entire Royal Guard forces to hold back the Titan of attack during that Struggle for Trost arc. But after that, he kind of slows down, doesn't really do much. Erwin kind of takes center stage after that. So we got Pixis in 6 out of a 10 rank here. Eren Yeager. Okay, guys, pre-139. Eren Yeager is the top dog of the series. The main character, main protagonist, main antagonist, Tatakai. Yes, you name it. Eren Yeager is the top dog. Fantastic character. Doesn't really grow as a character, but the situation changes, and he goes into total annihilation mode and Joker mode level baddie. Again, this is pre-139. Eren Yeager is top dog of the Attack on Titan series, for sure. Eren Kruger, very good character. I like him. I'm going to put him 8 out of 10. Like the Owl's introduction, like his disposition, liked his bombshell dialogue with Grisha, with you got to protect Armin and you got to protect Mikasa, and I don't even know those people. Who are those? That was a pretty sweet scene. Really like the Owl, so I'm going to put him there, 8 out of 10. Erwin, the GOAT Smith. I said the GOAT for Aaron, but it'll have to be a switch back and forth here. Again, this is pre-139, and I say they're nearly tied here. Wow, what a fantastic character. Leads the scout regiment. He's instrumental in forming tactics that gets the scouts, reduces their casualties, and he's able to learn more and more about the Titan threat, what they are, what they can do. Self-loathing to the regard of knowing how many people have died, in regards to him wanting to achieve his dream. But in the end, proves himself, I think, wrong in that regard, that, he's willing to throw away his dream and willing to move forward and to progress without him and not learning about what's in the basement, Grisha Yeager's basement. So, Erwin Smith, 10 out of 10. Chad, Giga Chad to the ultimate. I can't say so much. I can keep fanboying more and more about this guy, but he's just fantastic, and we're going to put him 10 out of 10. Falco, basically I would say the Eldian warrior Armin. Very kind, very empathetic towards everybody, enemy, friend, and stranger alike. I don't think he's as prominent. The only thing that he's very prominent in, I think, outside of becoming the Jaw Titan, is the fact that he helps facilitate Gabby's growth from being and so for that, I'm going to put him as a 6 out of 10. Oh boy. Grisha's sister. Why is her name escaping me right now? What a terrible, terrible situation with her, and what just absolutely tragic what happens to her at such a young age, getting mauled to death by dogs just because she wanted to go see those airships. I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. Just her life being cut short like that. I can understand where Grisha is coming from, wanting to escape and everything, because his poor little sister was just, it was just a crime and a murder, and it was just a total waste and just completely awful what happened to her. Not knowing as much about her, but I'm going to put her at the 5 out of the 10 because she's definitely a big, huge motivator to everything Grisha does up until he gets caught and goes to parody. She's an important keystone in navigating his character to what he becomes ultimately. Grisha Yeager, that is. Flock. Flock is fantastic. Flock is fun to watch. He's fun to hate. He's fun to love. What a polarizing character, people. Flock is. I'm going to put him in 10 out of 10. Yeah, easy. From being the fodder. If Armin Arlett is the brains of Erwin Smith, he's Erwin Smith's successor in the form of brains, and Flock is definitely the Erwin's successor when it comes to the heart. Absolutely passionate about what he's doing, is 100% dutiful, 100% committed to achieving what he believes is right, and he nearly overcomes it all, nearly a couple times, despite the odds stacked against us. Flock Foster, I think his name is, his last name, but Flock is definitely a 10 out of 10 character. You crazy SOB, you Flock, love you. You belong in the top 10, certainly. Frida Rice, the successor that eats Yuri, becomes the founding Titan. Very loving towards Historia, very, as her surrogate mother, very caring. That, makes me respect her as a character and as a sister to Historia, despite Historia being the bastard child, her half-sister, but she is just absolutely wonderful with her. Was not too crazy about her, how she felt of her race and Eldians. A little bit too much of a guilt trip there, and maybe was one of the driving forces of Eren moving forward, to having Grisha kill her and take the founding Titan powers away from her. I'm going to put her 6 out of 10. We got a lot of 6 out of 10s right now, but I think that's a good spot for her. Gabby. Gabby is easily a 9 out of 10. Fantastic story arc, very polarizing character. Everyone hates her, but, brainwashed from the Marleyan government into hating her own race. Comes around, realizes that the parody Eldians are not devils, that they're people just like her, and, Falco and her learn that, and Falco keeps her aligned. But wow, what a character arc she goes through, and that fantastic growth with her, protecting Kea and everything, and going from being the most hated character after killing Sasha on the Zeppelin to coming around and being just a sweetheart towards Kea and saving her life. So definitely, what a character arc she goes through. She's easily a 9 out of 10 on this list. Armin's grandfather, not much known about him, so I'm not even going to rate him. I'm going to put him behind here. Grisha Yeager. Grisha Yeager is, I'll put him 9 out of 10, but he's the top 9 out of 10 right here, right next to Gabby. Everything with him and just the entire story in itself revolves around him and what's in the basement, the truth about the Titans, the truth that he holds from Eren, and just where he comes from and everything, and just we didn't know what was going to happen before. We always wondered what was in the basement, and then we find out. And Grisha was definitely a important character, definitely the number one keystone, I think, with everything. Just the how he reacted after he got killed. He killed the Rice family from Eren. It just shows his growth, despite everything that he went through with the Resistance and losing his wife, and then potentially losing his wife, his second wife and kids, to the attack on Shiganshina. Grisha Yeager is definitely a 9 out of 10. Hanji. Hanji is a top flight character, probably my top 2 female characters in the series. I'm going to put her right up here at 9 out of 10. can't get enough of Hanji. Very really good balance between competency and comic relief. Absolutely love her. Badassery, just to the ninth degree. Goes out like an absolute boss that she is. It was never about her being held back for anything or whatever. She took responsibility when she needed to, and she was a fantastic leader. She did everything she could. I think in an impossible situation when dealing with Eren, she did everything she could possibly do. Kudos to her, and just being the eccentric, lovable character she was. 9 out of 10 for Hanji. Fantastic character. Hans, heartbreaking story with him. Cowards out and escapes with Eren and Mikasa in an arm and leaves Karl Jaeger to be eaten behind. The guilt eats at him, and he takes on the Smiling Titan. Like his growth. Still is relatively minor, so I'll put him in the 6 out of 10. Got a few 6 out of 10s here. I'm filling that up, but hopefully we can fill out more of these areas here. I don't think there's going to be a lot of characters that fall under the 6 out of 10, to be honest, because there's so many great characters in this series. It's just a fantastic series, up until 139. Historia Rice, the top G girl, my favorite female character in this series. She's definitely S. Wow, from just being a timid, friendly girl, just angelic figure that everyone, and then, kind of works away with that, becomes more independent of herself, showing more self-esteem of herself, and just, having combative views and, standing up for herself and becoming a really strong female lead. Oh, what a fantastic, absolutely love her to death. The queen of Paradis. The bastard child of, I believe it was Rod Rice, if that's his name, her father, steps up to become queen, and all dude, intents and purposes, does a very good job as Queen of Paradis. So, Historia Rice, best girl, top 10, 10-10, easy. Hitch. Hitch, for a character who doesn't really fight, I don't know if she actually fights a Titan the entire series, and she's in the military police, lives the comforting life that John from season 1 wanted. She really, really does grow on me. I didn't really care for her. She was lazy, wanted to find a guy to take care of her, in the interior, but she really grows on me and just becomes a great character. I loved her dynamic with Annie. They have a lot of chemistry there, and of course, the way she picks on Armin and everything really becomes confidence. I'm going to put her 7 out of 10 here, right behind Bertolt. Really love me some Hitch. Great female character in her own right. Wow. Okay, I don't know this character's name. You'll have to forgive me. I know it's one of Levi's friends, one of his companions, right before he joins the Scouts. I know she has that tragic, horrific death. I'll put her 5 out of 10 just for the fact that she seemed like she was a very cool character, and she was with Levi, and he saw something in her, and they saw something in each other. So I'll put her there. You have to forgive me for not knowing her name. Jean Christine, the strongest, I think, character in season 1, from zero to hero. Absolute coward. Wanted to have a comfortable life. Wanted to get fat off the land. And just live in the interior, but then ends up joining in the Scouts and becomes one of the top Scouts, and even acknowledges that, why did I even want to join these people at one point. What an awesome moment. Stays relatively strong throughout the series. His love for Mikasa drives him even stronger and stronger. Wish she could have seen that a little bit more. She was kind of dunce and, all set on Eren, but man, what a guy Jean is. I'm going to put him 9 out of 10. Very strong character. Ends up marrying Mikasa, so he wins in that regard. I know I said pre-139, but I'll just leave that little detail there for him, because Jean, that was one of his driving forces as a character. Jean is a 9 out of 10 character. Great leader, too, by the way. Okay. Mrs. Braun. Reiner Braun's mother. Trying to remember what her name was, but just the cowardliness of herself, how she used her son just to have a better life, and she admits it, and then she comes around to it, and I do like that growth in her character. So she's actually relatively strong. for not having that much screen time. So let me put her in 6 out of 10 here. Wow, we're getting a lot of 6 out of 10 here, guys. Okay, Kea. I'm going to put Kea in 5 out of 10 because she's, she was the one that was rescued by Sasha and survives, and then, she shows, is another guide for, a moral guide for Gabby's growth. She gets saved by Gabby and everything, and there's a friendship that forms there, and it's a very likable relationship. Other than that, that's why I'm kind of putting her 5 out of 10. It wasn't really nothing too prominent, but Kea is a 5 out of 10 character. Okay, pound for pound, every scene, every minute, even though there's not a lot of minutes that this guy's in this series, everything he's in, I absolutely love, and that's Keith Shadis. Shadis is pound for pound probably the best character, I think, with very minor minutes in the series. We'll put him at 8 out of 10. I just love me some Keith. I don't know if there's some kind of weird bias. How do you guys feel about Keith, guys? Because for some reason, I just love this guy. I love how he felt he wasn't special. I love how he felt he was a failure with the Scouts, and I love how he just felt like he was really nothing, and then he really steps up, stops the Jaeger's train from attacking, and then goes out in a blast with Theo Magath, where the two commanders come together and realize what their roles were and everything. Trains all the cadets, probably a really good trainer he just a fantastic trainer for all the guys, and a lot of them ended up surviving in that class, Aaron's class, 109 I believe it was. Keith Shadis is 8 out of 10. Kenny Ackerman, 9 out of 10. Love his story arc, love his dynamic with Levi. He was the strongest push for Levi as a character in this series. Once we get to Levi, I'll justify where I put him. But Kenny Ackerman goes a 9 out of 10. Love Kenny the Ripper. Love the moral ambiguity with him. Just everything with his his murderous nature and everything. And I kind of wonder if Izuyama actually looked at him as a character and was like, let's make Kenny basically Jack the Ripper, but likable and more out in the open. But so we got Kenny the Ripper instead of Jack the Ripper. So Kenny Ackerman goes 9 out of 10. Okay, we got this guy. This guy's a coward. Don't really like him. We'll put him right next to Darius Zackley. Don't even know his name, but he can go there. Kiyomi. Kiyomi's not a big Kiyomi fan. She seemed to be served as a plot point for Mikasa's growth that never gets explored with the whole Ackerman, all that Ambizito, whatever they call it. Just a greedy person. She realizes that don't really like her character. She doesn't really grow, doesn't really face the consequences of being a profiteer off the land of the Paradisians. Kiyomi's a 3 out of 10. I'll put her there. Okay, Willie Tiber's sister, the maid, the Warhammer Titan. For someone who has very little lines and gets eaten and everything, for some reason, I really like this character. Maybe because it almost serves that maybe she kind of fueled Aaron's bloodlust, even though his bloodlust was already coming to an absolute boiling point at that point. But how he wears his hair after he eats the Warhammer Titan, it almost feels like she might have had an influence on him. I like to believe that, so that's why I'm going to put her a little higher than people might think I would. I put her 5 out of 10. Willie Tiber's sister. Levi Ackerman. Now, my most controversial placement here in this whole list, I believe, and you can argue with me, you can disagree with me, or be indifferent with me, but I believe Levi Ackerman is going to be top of the 5 out of 10. He's very flashy. Everything he does is cool, but then fireworks get a little old after a while and everything, and you have to have some character. He does have a lot of really great character moments with Kenny Ackerman, and I've already stated that when I place Kenny Ackerman higher than here. And people may have problems with me placing Kenny so much higher than Levi because of that dynamic and how they had the growth and everything there. But Levi, with his failure to let go of his revenge for Zeke, ended up killing Zeke. Just kill monkey mode after the Return to Shinganshina arc. Levi is He really halts after the insurrection arc or the rebellion arc. Excuse me. So we're going to put Levi Ackerman as the top 5-10 character. You guys may disagree with me, but this is my list, and it's subjective to me. And just let me know what you think about where I put Levi there, because I think that's going to be the most controversial here once I upload this tier list. Okay, Marcel. Marcel, I'm going to put 5 out of 10. Just serves the fact, of brotherly love, wanting to protect his brother, even though his brother probably should have inherited the Armor Titan, basically sabotages his brother's test results and everything, so Reiner gets a position so he can protect his brother from risking his life as the Armor Titan. Marcel goes at the end, I think, 5 out of 10. Very sad what happens to him. Of course, I don't like the fact that any children dying in any series, or in general, I guess, without exploring them further, but very tragic story, so we'll put him 5 out of 10, Marcel. Marco Bot, probably the most intelligent character. He was so smart that for his own good, like Reiner would say. Is a driving force for the rise in the character of Jean Christine. Marco Bot, really liked the character, very tragic what happens to him, made me really hate Reiner at first, and Annie and Bertolt. We'll put him 5 out of 10. Okay, this guy, what's his name again, people? You have to forgive me, I'm going blank with this guy's name, even though he's very honorable. Him and Hitch seem to have a thing going on, but he ends up dying in the charge against Zeke in the Return to Shiganshina arc. Marlowe, yes, I got his name, Marlowe. When he's contemplating, when he knows he's about to die, and he does die, just the inner thoughts, I think is very relatable. Maybe for anyone who's about to face certain death, you think about your loved ones really quick, and then you're like, it'd be nice to be there with them instead of me about dying. So I thought that was kind of a deep scene. So actually, I'm going to put him in 6 out of 10. Marlowe, very good character, morally upright. Sad that his life was cut short. Mike Zacharias, right? Or Mike Zacharias. Really love this character. Humanity's second strongest soldier. Has probably, in my opinion, the most brutal death in the entire AOT series. Just the screaming and the getting ripped apart in front of us by Titans was absolutely brutal. Those earlier seasons were absolutely brutal, weren't they, people? But Mike, I'm going to put the world's second strongest soldier, I think, as a 5 out of 10. I would have liked to have seen more of him and Levi working together. I would have probably liked to have seen him more, maybe in the Return to Shiganshina arc. But he serves as a good character to introduce the Beast Titan and Zeke Yeager from the beginning there. So Humanity's second strongest soldier goes on a 5 out of 10. All right. Now listen to me, people. This is pre-139, and I'll say this again. Pre-139 and post-139, Mikasa is 1 out of 10. And a lot of people may hate me for that, but outside maybe the Levi placement, people may hate me for that. I do not like this character. I do not like her lack of growth. I don't like her lack of everything about her. She just feels like pie without the filling. She's just there. The only time I really liked her was the Return to Trost arc, and when Eren dies, she goes through that just that mental meltdown, and she seems to come out of it, and she seems to be. And then she has that one saying, and one of my favorite sayings comes from, I think, my opinion, the worst character, which is her, is, "The world is cruel, but also so beautiful." I love that line she gives, and that's the only thing I like about her in this whole series. She is just Eren, and I get tired of it. And, yeah, probably my least favorite character in this series, but unfortunately she's the top 3 characters, and maybe the most important character according to post-139. Again, pre-139, but funnily enough, post-139, she's going to be 1 out of 10. Man, John, you could have really have done better. You can't fall in love with a girl that's going to be hung up on a guy the rest of her life. That has I just can't stand her. Mina Carolina, let's put Mina. Mina's going to even be higher than her. We'll put Mina Carolina 2 out of 10. Seemed very caring, but, life was cut short because AOT was a lot more brutal then. Don't know who this person is. I forgot her name, but I liked her. Didn't serve so much of a role, so I'll put her next to Mina. She does fight. I'll put her 3. She does fight, and she fights really hard, but ends up, running out of gas and then running out of blades, and then she gets ripped apart by Titans like Mike was. So I'll put her there. Hilga, I think her name was. I don't know. You'd have to correct me, guys. You'd let me know. Pastor Nick. 4 out of 10. Seemed to serve a plot point, plot devices and everything, and seemed to be coming around to helping the scouts out. Gets murdered, killed. Put him there. Niccolo. Niccolo was interesting. Went from hating the Paradisians, calling them devils just like Gabby was, and then falling head over heels in love with Sasha because her love of food and him being a chef. So I do like his character arc. I'm going to actually put him in a pretty strong spot. 7 out of 10. Kind of like in the form of Keith Shadis, but less than I think. So yeah, I'm actually put him in a 7 out of 10. I'm actually kind of surprised at myself. Alright, this character, don't know him. Commander, what's his face, of the military police, marries Erwin Smith's former fiance. I think his name is Nick. You guys can correct me again, forgive me, I can't remember all these characters' names, but it does seem to come around, in the end there, in the final attack, the return to Shinganshin, or the attack on Shinganshin arc with the Marlians. So I actually put him 5 out of 10. Okay, Onion Capone. Onion Capone really does step up. I really like him as a character. I really like, just a legit, just good guy. Just one of those guys. He's just a good guy. So I'm gonna put him 6 out of 10. Olaf, I think this guy's name is. Really loved him in the season 1. Life was cut short. Let's put him 4 out of 10. Petra was probably the most entertaining, and people really wondering if her and Levi had a thing going on. Were they engaged? Weren't they engaged? I don't know if that's ever been confirmed, but it's been heavily hinted that there was something going on between those two, so we'll put her 5 out of 10. Tragic death, and probably the most angering deaths within that squad when the female Titan went on a rampage. Piek Finger, absolutely love her. One of my top 3-4 characters, best characters. The Cart Titan, high IQ, just incredibly caring. Loves her father to death. I'll put Piek as a 7 out of 10. Just love her character. She's beautiful inside and out. Just very caring, and sacrifices her future for her father's because that's just what she is, and she's just I just love her to death. I feel like crying right now, guys. I love her so much. Piek. Okay, Porco, the Jaw Titan. Porco, I don't like. He does start coming around a little bit with Reiner, but I don't like the whole competition and just like hating Reiner just because he got the Armored Titan. I was always better than you, and it gets old after a while. It's like, shut up, dude, shut up. Just stop it. So, not a horrible character, and how he sacrifices himself for Reiner to survive. So Falco eats him instead and becomes the Jaw Titan. Let's put him 5 out of 10. Okay, Reiner Braun. S, certainly. In fact, we're going to put him the 3rd top character in this series. What a fantastic... The psychology, the mental torture, the insecurities, the... I don't know how many words I can just throw out. Just everything about this guy. The split personalities, the absolute hypocrisy of the things he does. Just... and how he speaks, and then just the depression, the suicidal tendencies he has, and just and still coming out on top and being a champ, and just and taking a hit, man. Talk about a guy who's been hit more than this guy. He's been pummeled in the face by kicks to the face, punches to the face. He still just keeps coming back, and he's so yeah, I love me Reiner. Probably the most complex character, and you could see him in a psychology class 101 just on his psyche, on everything and how he acts and justifies everything he does. Reiner Braun, just a fantastic character. So he's definitely up there, probably top 3 characters, I think, interchangeable. He might be number one in some books to some people, but I definitely think he's the third or second best character of Attack on Titan. Oh, I love me some Riko. Very little done with her after the season 1, but I do like her in the minor role she was in there and the struggle for Trost arc. Let's put her 4 out of 10. I think this is Rod Rice. We're actually getting down to where was it, Smiling Titans and everything, but we'll put him on the end there. Sasha Browse. She's definitely a lot stronger than Connie, but she's nowhere close to Jean in growth, I think. So we'll put her 6 out of 10. Her strongest character moments were with Kea, saving Kea. And just being determined. Her father saying, "You're everything I hoped you were," was a very emotional moment. Kind of brings tears to your eyes. What a fantastic moment for her. Life was cut short. The stuff with Niccolo was really good. So yeah, she's really loved me some Sasha. It's a shame she was killed by Gabby, but just the growth that she had throughout the series, and she was a very strong character, I think. Theo Magath. There's a part of me that thinks I should like him more than I do, but I really don't like him as much as like Keith or any of the other commanders. I want to be fair with him. I think he is. We'll actually put him behind Pixis, because I do like the fact that he realizes the error of his ways and how he treated these children like war weapons. And then when he's talking to Keith about how he really, in the end, wished they all could have just lived regular lives and not been treated as military weapons for the Marleyan Empire. So I'm gonna put Theo Magath right behind Pixis in the 6 out of 10 rank. Okay, the most sympathetic character I have towards this entire series. Absolutely heartbreaking story with him. The nicest guy, takes on Zeke as a surrogate father because Grisha was a terrible parent with Zeke. Oh man, I get almost emotional just talking about it. Mr. Xavier, just very friendly, the original Beast Titan. Just nearly brings me to tears about the story about his wife finding out about his true heritage and what he is, and then she kills herself and kills their own child because of it, and he comes home to that. I just absolutely sympathize with the guy, and then he's just on his knees crying about it, saying, "If I just was not born, this would not have happened." Wow, what a human moment right there, and that's just wow. So I have a real big soft spot for this guy. Really motivated Zeke into what his plan was and everything. So I'm actually going to give him a strong rating. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 because he fosters so much and everything, and he brings out so much emotions of relatability and everything for someone who has maybe dealt with absolute just horrific pain in their life in that level that he does. And yet he still goes on and, is eaten by Zeke in the end. But, wow, Xavier, what a great character. Okay, Odo. Odo, I'm going to put him 4 out of 10. Not very, one of the kid warriors, very, his life was cut short at such a young age. Another tragedy in the war between Eldia and Marley. Very sad with him, so we'll go put him 4 out of 10. Yuri. Yuri is pretty mysterious, I think, from what I've seen. But to be honest, I haven't really watched much on Yuri and everything. I know that him and Kenny had a special relationship. So for that matter, I'm actually going to put him slightly ahead of Frida because I think he actually has better morals and insights than Frida does. And I think that's actually serves the Rice family poorly. It's a shame that the Curse of Ymir is only, 12 years, because he probably could have held things better together than Freda does. So yeah, that's where we're going to go with Yuri. He's going to go 6 out of 10. Willie Tiber. Willie, I'm going to put him... I don't know whether to rate him like a 6 or like a 3. I guess it's just how the wind blows with me that day. So let's just call it a 4 out of 10. you know, just the irony of him talking to the world and the world powers and all the famous politicians and of the other nations, basically gathering their hate and ire against Parody Island. He basically fosters the very fear that he has because of declaring war on Parody. So Willie Tiber, he goes 4 out of 10. I think he's pretty much the person that may have indirectly caused the rumbling to happen. I don't know what your guys' opinion on that, but you know, he's the one who declared war. He's the one that Aaron was the one in the basement. So yeah, Willie Tiber's a 4 out of 10. Freckle Ymir. Freckle Ymir is going to go very high. I'm going to put her 9 out of 10. Just her character growth and her presence with Historia helped Krista become Historia, basically, coming out of her shell. Showed her to embrace happiness, showed her to embrace what she was and who she is, and not be this facade of a angelic character. Just be human, be yourself, be who you are. And then when she gets her to tell her, my name is actually Historia, it's not Krista, and that's a great moment. So Freckle Ymir, love her story. Comes out of slavery, and you know, very tragic ending to her too. Gets eaten by Porco as a Jaw Titan, but serves as a very huge teacher and great friend towards Historia for her growth to come out of her shell to become queen and everything. So Freckle Ymir will be a 9 out of 10. All right, getting near the end of the list here, people. Okay, let's actually put Kea right here as well. Or I think that's her name. No, not Kea. It's Zofia. Yeah, forget me. Add Zofia. Put her next to Udo. They both die around the same time. They seemed like friends. It's a shame how they both died. Yeah, last character, guys. Here, coming to the end of the list here, because I'm not going to place any of these characters. Because I'd rather do it with the characters. If I was going to put Dina anywhere, I'd probably put her 6 or 5 out of 10. But Zeke Yeager is very good. We're going to put him... Let's actually put him right behind Reiner. Love Zeke Yeager. Probably had the best solution to an absolute crap of a situation. And people may disagree with me, but I think his plan was probably the best you could deal with on there. You know, the euthanization plan to sterilize all Eldians is probably the way to go. I mean, that would maybe force a world peace and broker everything, especially if you get that out to all the other nations outside of Marley, and nobody has to die. Not billions of people have to die in the rumbling that Eren initiates. Zeke Yeager, you know, just shitty childhood because of his father. His father was an absolute dirtbag of a father. Was not a father. That moment where in the flashbacks where you see Grisha embracing him, crying and telling him, I should have been a better father. I should have paid more attention. I should have done more. Then he just starts tearing up as one of the most powerful moments, I think, in Attack on Titan. It's up there, definitely, with Zeke Yeager. I really wish I would have seen more of Zeke during the rumbling. Again, this is pre-139, so I won't get into the problems I see with this character after that. But Zeke, I like him close to about as much as I do Reiner. And yeah, that's all I can really say about Zeke Yeager. Very good character, you know, brother to Eren, you know, and definitely the more empathetic character when he was the absolute most brutal character we thought. You know, it turns out Eren is an absolute madman compared to his older brother, Zeke. All right, guys, that's my list. Tell me what you think. Do you really think I got it really wrong with like Connie or Levi or you know, any of these characters, or Mikasa, because yeah, she's the lone 1 out of 10 character. I think in this whole list. Let me know, guys. Yeah, I'm done with this list. I'll probably do a post 139 list and things. I'll try to critique things. There'll be some things that change drastically, and maybe stuff that really stays the same on a standpoint. Maybe majority of it stays the same. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna rank all these characters. I think a majority of them are gonna be in the 6 or higher here. All right, so yeah, just let me know in the comment section. Tell me what you want, and tell me what you disagree or like or different with. If you hate it, just let me know. It's always good to have your input. Have a nice day, everybody, and Justin Fever out. All right, bye-bye.